Welcome to this presentation on the topic of developing killer instinct when interacting with women. This is basically your ability to strike the iron when it's hot. When opportunity presents itself, you being able to take advantage. All right. So I want to talk about where are you right now? Where are you currently? So right now, you may feel as though your interactions with women, you're able to approach them, you're able to converse with them, you're able to vibe with them, but your interactions may be lacking in masculinity, it may be lacking in raw sexuality, and it may be lacking in dominance, right? So basically, you may be having these conversations with women, but they may not be as sexual or man to woman or romantic as you'd like. They may be more more on the platonic side of things. All right. You may be sick of underachieving in your dating life. So you know that you have more potential. You know that you should be or you could be more successful. You know that there's plenty of experiences that you would like to have with women and adventures and just living your best life in regards to dating. And so you're tired of underachieving. You may feel as though you're being held back by some form of sexual shame or a fear of being sexual and possibly being rejected. All right. Some of us, um, we may be somewhat late bloomers in this area, meaning we may not have had a ton of experience or references being sexual and learning how to be sexual and how to calibrate it and so that it's not um, violating or awkward or unacceptable. And then also, we may not be comfortable with that feeling of being sexual, like vulnerable in your sexuality, and then potentially being rejected for it, right? So these are like feelings that we're not used to. And so it's kind of like stepping into the unknown. Um, and so that may be holding you back from, displaying that killer instinct with women. You may feel as though your own mind and body are sabotaging your opportunities with women. So you know what to do, but you're not doing it, right? You're not striking the iron when it's hot. So you're aware of this, right? You're in the interaction and you're aware enough to know that when the opportunity presents itself to make a certain move or take the interaction in a certain direction, or maybe you're talking to a woman and you know she's into you, but you're not really taking that lead or whatever the case may be, you feel like you're somehow sabotaging the situation because you know what to do, but you're not doing it. All right. And then you may feel like you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. All right. So to me, that's the difference between having that killer instinct and not. The guy who's really playing to win, he's playing to win, right? He's not just, oh yeah, this is cool, I'm talking to a woman, or yeah, that's cool, I'm getting some attraction. He's like, yo, I want to close the deal. So this is where you feel that you are right now. Now let's look at where do you want to be, right? So I'm willing to bet that you want to be in a position where you are feeling confident in your ability to attract and seduce women. All right. So you feel when you see a woman, you don't just feel like, okay, yeah, I can approach her. Oh yeah, I can talk to her. Oh yeah, I could you know, maybe get her phone number. No, you feel as though you have this powerful ability to attract women, meaning to get them interested and curious about getting to know you. And not only that, you feel as though you can seduce the woman. So you can actually create a romantic or sexual relationship with the woman. You want to be in a position where you feel excited to approach a woman because you know you can get her. So there's a certain excitement that you will start to cultivate and feel when you start to realize that you have this new killer instinct, when you have this ability to actually close the deal, actually create romantic connections and sexual connections with women, actually be able to pull a woman from a nightclub, or actually get a woman, to go on a date with a woman and then get her turned on to the point where she's willing to go back home with you, right? You want to get to the point where you have the killer instinct to do what's necessary to get the result. So this is like, I'll just give you an example. Like, this is you in the nightclub and the girl is vibing with you, you're making out with her, and you make a move, like you say something like, one of my things I would say to pull a girl would be, you know, hey, let's go take some shots. I got a bottle in my car or something like that, or let's go take some shots at my crib real quick, we'll come right back. Or maybe you're just bold with it and you say, you know what, let's just go back to my place, I'm enjoying this conversation, and let's just vibe back at my place. Like, you just making that move, even if it may be you may be a little scared to do it, or it may feel like, I don't know, it might be too much, but you having the balls, and the boldness to just make that move. Okay. And this could also be like in the daytime, you're on a date or whatever, and the date is over and it was an amazing date and you like to spend more time with this woman. This is you inviting her back to your place, or this may be you just going for the kiss when you should go for the kiss. Or this may be you, let's say you're vibing with a girl in a club and she's with her friends. This is you making that move to isolate her. Oh, let's go to the bar real quick, let's get a shot, or let's go to the bar, it's too loud right here. This is you having that killer instinct to do what is necessary to get the result. Consistently able to win, close the deal. So not only you don't want to be like this guy who is successful once in a while or whatever, you want to be able to consistently close a deal. So this is you like adding, a new girl to your, maybe one or two new girls to your rotation every month, right? This is you going on, 1 to 3 dates per week, because you're consistently able to get women interested in you. You're consistently able to get the woman to not only be interested in that initial interaction, but want to spend more time with you in the future. Able to express yourself as a sexually masculine man and connect with women romantically and sexually. All right. So basically, the ultimate position we want to be in is we want to be able to express ourselves as a masculine man, and we want to be able to express our sexuality. And not only that, we want to get the result, which is to actually connect with women romantically and sexually. All right. So let's get into, how do you get there? How do you get to this point where you have the killer instinct and you're able to close the deal with women? First of all, we need to understand, what is killer instinct. So there's different definitions, but the definition we're going to go with today is having that ruthless aggression or determination to win or succeed. So this is you basically being unapologetic about getting the result. This can be applied to dating, but this can also be applied to business and sports as well, right? In business, this is you, selling someone and knowing that the product is great, or knowing that the goal is to sell the product. So instead of you like kind of like just being a nice guy about it, you display the benefits of the product, you display the features, you may use storytelling or whatever other style of sales that you use. And then when it's time to close the deal, you go for the close, you ask for the sale. You say, so would you like this product or not? Or what, so would you are you doing card, or are you paying in cash? Or you make that, you ask for the sale. You don't wait for the person, you're not passive about it or whatever. In sports, in basketball, for example, this is you when you have the ball in your hand, and maybe there's like you're in a pressure situation, right? And it's up to you to make that, to score that final point. This is you stepping up to the plate and having that killer instinct, you looking your opponent in their eye like, I'm about to destroy you right now. Not, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make the shot, or I don't know if it's going to happen. No, you look at him, you're like, let's go, right? I want to see you stop me, right? That is that mentality. And so this is when you're in a interaction with a woman, And you're not just like, oh yeah, this is nice to talk to a woman. You're like, yo, I'm going to close the deal, right? I'm the end result here is I'm gonna have sex with you, right? Um there's no shame around that, or there's no apologies for it. You're a sexual man, you want to have sex with the woman, so you just own that, right? So, or if you're trying to create you want a relationship with her, you own that too. Like, I'm leading us into a romantic or sexual relationship here. This is not a friend thing. This is not a I hope things work out thing. This is me taking control. Determination to win or succeed. So your mentality is I'm in it to win. I'm in it to succeed. I'm not just playing to play. So one of the ways you can develop your killer instinct is by developing your willpower, right? Because the way I see it is killer instinct is necessary usually during times when you are either tired or uncomfortable, or you don't really feel like it, or maybe you're just like, maybe you're comfortable, maybe you're just like in a good groove and you don't really feel like stepping into a higher level of tension or pushing yourself outside of the comfort zone, right? And so one of the ways you can develop this ability, because to me, killer instinct is a form of willpower that needs to show up um, when, let's say, you're kind of like in a certain mood that's just like chill or relaxed, or it just is what it is, and you need to exert some more energy, right? To just go for the kill, right? To end the game or whatever. So you can practice this through your willpower. So one exercise you can do is you can do like a push up, like go into a push up stance, and then you lower yourself down like you're gonna do the push up, but you don't go all the way down. You go like halfway, and then you hold it, and you hold that position as long as you can. And when you get to the point where you feel like you feel like you need to like stop, like you're fatigued and your muscles feel like they're gonna like explode, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going until you can't go anymore, right? And you want to time it. So you want to time and see how long did you do that for? And then each day you want to improve that timing. And what you're doing is you're increasing your willpower, you're increasing your heart, you're increasing your ability to push past your limits. Push past when everything in your body is saying no, you're still going, right? That, to me, that's you tapping into a form of killer instinct. That's you pushing past when everybody else would be done, when everybody else would give up or throw in the towel. You're just getting started. You're ready. Let's go. So that's one of the ways you can develop your killer instinct, is by working on your willpower. That's one exercise you can use. You can apply this in other different ways. Maybe go out, for example, if you're doing cold approach, you go out with the intention of, I want to work on my willpower. I want to work on my killer instinct. So you may set an intention to do a certain approach, or like maybe you go out and you say, anytime I see this type of woman, I'm going to approach no matter what. Or anytime I see this type of situation, I'm going to approach no matter what. This is you working on that ability to go for the kill no matter what's going on externally, right? Or even internally. Like, you just decide that you're going to make the move no matter what, and you're not going to apologize for it. So it's like you're learning how to no longer hesitate or doubt yourself when something needs to get done. That's what that killer instinct is. It's like ruthless aggression, right? What is ruthless aggression? It's like no mercy, right? You're not apologetic. You're not like shameful about anything. You're just gonna make the move. Okay, another way to develop your killer instinct is by tapping into archetypes. This is something that I used a lot to develop my killer instinct. And at the time, I was only really using visualization, but then, I got into meditation, and then I also understood the concept of embodiment. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit. So one of the archetypes that I definitely leveraged in regards to killer instinct, and this was mostly during sex or getting myself into like a sexual mood where I'm like making moves that escalate um, the relationship with the woman sexually. The archetype of the vampire really helped me with this. Okay. When I think about a vampire, I think about killer instinct. I think about ruthless aggression. I think about being deadly, right? I think about being unapologetic. When I think of a vampire, I understand vampires, right? They're going to suck your blood. They're going to go for your neck and they're not going to apologize about it. They're not going to be timid about it, right? There's no remorse there. It's just this is what it is. The goal is I need to suck your blood or else I'm going to die. And so I'm going to do it and that's the end of it. So I apply that mentality to sexual situations with women. So when I had like a little sexual shame or I was just like uncomfortable during sex, I would use the vampire archetype, right? To just like be dominant during sex or be masculine during sex or take over or whatever. In a nightclub, right? I know in a nightclub, when you're dealing with women in a nightclub, if you're like timid and passive and stuff like that, it's not gonna get you anywhere. So I would use the vampire archetype in a nightclub as well. I would walk into the club as a vampire. Like I'm like looking for my prey. I'm like in predator mode. Like, where's the woman? You know? And it just is what it is. I have no apologies about it. And the powerful thing about tapping into these archetypes is nobody really knows that you're doing it unless you tell them, right? It's not like I go around. It's not like I'll tap into an archetype and say, "Hey, everybody, by the way, I'm being a vampire right now." No, they don't know. All they know is this guy looks like he's not fucking around. This guy looks like he's um has a mission, or he knows what he's doing, or he's assertive, or he's in control, or he's dominant, right? So there's a certain beingness that comes with tapping into archetypes. Also the beast, right? The beast, I would use the beast when I would go on dates. I would tap into a lion. Sometimes I go on a date and I'd be a little nervous. I'm going on a date with a girl. I'll be a little nervous, and I know if I'm nervous and stuff like that, I'm probably gonna be a little passive and be kind of maybe too nice on a date. And I know if I want to create a sexual relationship with this woman, I can't be nice and passive. That's not the ideal character that needs to show up if I want a sexual relationship with a woman. And a masculine, grounded, sexual man needs to show up if I really want to create the sexual relationship. So tap into the beast. I'll literally feel and walk and look through the eyes of the beast, right? The beast could be any like powerful animal. You can create like a fantasy beast in your head, or you could just use an animal. I used to use the lion, but I found an image of a black lion online, and I would use that image. I would use that beast as an archetype I would tap into, and it would just make me a lot more aggressive, a lot more masculine, a lot more assertive, and that killer instinct would show up more when I was in that character, because or that archetype, because I know a lion, I have images of a lion killing his prey, right? I don't see the lion dabbling around it. I don't see the lion beating around the bush. I see the lion killing his prey. Same thing with the vampire, the Joker. Now I put the Joker in here. The Joker to me has that killer instinct too, because the Joker, he sees he's not taking life so seriously. So whatever he wants to do, he's just gonna do it, and he's not gonna be hesitant about it. Right? The Joker actually is a good example of killer instinct. Like when he's gonna do something, he's just gonna do it. Right? And he's gonna and if somebody tries to stop him, he's just gonna laugh at them. You know, they're a joke. There's no the Joker, and to me, the Joker, one of the things that holds men back from having that killer instinct too is like there is some sense of fear of rejection there. Like maybe, oh, what if this doesn't work? Or, what if I look stupid? Or, what if I get embarrassed or whatever, right? And to me, the Joker has no concept of those things. Like when I think of the Joker, I don't think of someone who even has a concept of rejection or embarrassment or any of these things. He just has a will, and he just exerts his will, and that's the end of it. Right. He's matter of fact, he takes it to the level of he's not afraid to die. That makes you really have that killer instinct, because now there's nothing really stopping you from displaying that killer instinct, because you just have no fears around that. Bane is another one. I would tap into Bane because Bane, if you watched him in the Dark Knight movie, he had that killer instinct. Like whenever he needed to do something, he would just do it. There would be no hesitation. There'd be no apologies about it. Having a predator mentality. We as humans, we're predators, right? Our eyes, they say that the predators, their eyes are in the front of them, and the prey, their eyes are on the side of them. So I see myself as a predator, right? And especially if I'm in communication with someone and we are looking face to face, and it could be a man or a woman, I get into a certain mode, right? Because in nature, when two beings are face to face, it's usually like that there's that alpha versus beta thing going on, right? Like who is the alpha, who is the beta, right? And not that I make a big deal out of that, but I do have that in the back of my mind, like when I'm interacting with someone, like which position am I in right now? And so when I'm dealing with a woman, my mindset is always to be the alpha. Why would I want to be the beta in an interaction with a woman? And to me, the alpha, the way I see it, is his inner world is greater than his outer world, and the beta, the outer world, is greater than their inner world. So the alpha is basically at cause, and the beta is at effect. So I want to be at cause, and when I see myself as a predator, I see myself as at cause, and I have an intent, right, of what I want to do or what I want to achieve, and I see that intent through to the best of my ability. Okay, and then the last archetype I put here is Venom. Venom, very vicious. Talking about Venom, the like from the movie and the comics, it's just a very vicious character. Um, very violent, very dominant, and this is just my way of tapping into archetypes or energies or beingness that will make me more able to tap into my killer instinct. Exposure therapy. Okay, so exposure therapy is basically you want to expose yourself to a level of tension that you're not comfortable with, but you expose yourself to it gradually over time until you get to the point where you're very familiar with that tension. So, for example, a lot of times, let me see what's the best example here. So, when you're dealing with a woman, in depending on the context, there's going to be a certain level of tension that you're going to experience when dealing with her, right? Like for example, if I'm talking to a woman and we're just having like a simple conversation, we're talking about the weather, right? There's a certain level of tension that's going to be in that interaction, and it's probably not going to be very high, right? Because we're just talking about something very simple. It's an indirect conversation. We're not talking about us being together or us uh being in any type of romantic or sexual relationship. It has nothing to do with that. We're just talking about the weather. So the tension of that interaction is not that high. However, if you're in a situation where you're talking to a woman and she says something like, um, so what are you about? She starts to like ask you about you or like put you on the spot or something like that, right? Oh, so do you always come up to women and talk to them like this? Or when they put you on the spot, there's a certain tension that comes with that too, right? And that's a much higher level tension because now she's like putting all this feminine energy in your direction, and it's up to you to demonstrate that you are grounded in your masculinity and you can handle that feminine energy she's sending your way, right? She's testing you, she's challenging you. Now, exposure therapy would be for you to gradually build your way up to these higher levels of tension and getting familiar with these higher levels of tension. So then, when you're put in those situations in the future, you'll be more likely to execute or take the action that is going to get you to where you want to go. Right. So, for example, if a woman says to me, I'm in an interaction with a woman and she says to me, "You're actually pretty cute." Let's say she says that to me in interaction. If I'm not comfortable with the tension that comes with her saying that, I'm probably gonna respond in like a passive or like an uncomfortable way. I might say, "Oh, thank you." You know, and it's not even so much about what I said, it's how I said it. Like it's kind of like, "Oh no, that's too much tension. I can't handle that." So what's gonna happen? She's gonna realize, "Oh, this guy can't really handle my feminine energy. Like this guy is weak in this area. He's showing weakness." And female nature, we got to understand, female nature is actually designed to attack weakness. When a woman sees weakness in you, she's supposed to attack it. She's not supposed to reward it. She's not supposed to submit to it. She's supposed to attack it because that's what nature is all about. And female nature is actually, if you really study female nature, it's actually quite brutal. But it's not really a bad thing because if you understand what she's doing, she's actually helping you out. She's helping you see your weakness and helping you overcome it. But anyway, me personally, I use exposure therapy to get myself to the point where I can approach women and I can be masculine and I can lead and I can escalate the interaction to a romantic and sexual relationship. The reason I'm able to do that is because I put myself through exposure therapy. I started off by going out and just asking women for the time. Then I asked them for directions. Then I would give them compliments. Then I would go into interaction and be direct, tell her, "Hey, I think you're attractive. I want to say hi." Then I would get used to that type of energy of interaction. Then I get used to asking for the phone number. Then I'd get used to asking for the date. You know what I mean? I would just keep going to the next level. Right. And so it gets to the point where this killer instinct is not even really something that you need to like muster up a lot of energy for, because if you get really comfortable with these different tension levels, killer instinct will just become who you are. Like you'll just do what you need to do to get the result because you're comfortable in it. It's no longer like this uncomfortable thing or something you're not used to or whatever. All right, so winning attitude, seeking out the challenge. I want you to fuck with me so I can fuck you up. Okay, so I think ultimately what killer instinct is, it's just being ready to cut somebody's head off when it's time to cut their head off. It's being ready to pull the trigger when it's time to pull the trigger. And how do you get yourself ready? You would have to be in the attitude of winning. You'd have to be in the attitude that you're actually playing the game to win, that you actually want to be challenged, right? You actually want somebody to try you. It's like you want to be in the unknown. It's like you seek out that's why these archetypes help a lot, because these archetypes that I'm talking about, they are seeking out challenge. Like a beast is looking for the challenge. He's looking for his prey. He wants to eat. The vampire is looking for a challenge. He needs blood to survive. So he needs to find a human to suck their blood. The Joker, he needs chaos. He needs excitement in his life. He needs, you know, some great event to happen, and he's seeking that out. And he's not like confused about it, or he's not like, yeah, let me kind of go for it. Like the Joker goes all out. Bane, same thing. A Predator, Venom, right? We want to have that winning attitude, meaning we're in it to win it, right? This is the mentality of, for example, like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played the game to win. That's why he won so many championships, because that was his standard. He's in it to win. He's not just trying to have fun. And he would do whatever it takes to win. One of the things they talk about Michael Jordan is that whatever team he went on, every single person on that team, their stats went up. And then when he would leave the team, their stats went down. Why is that? Because Michael Jordan, when he comes on the team, he has a certain standard of, I'm here to win the championships. And I'm going to raise my game to the level necessary to win the championships, which means I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And that means everyone on the team has to raise their standards too, or get off the team. right? There's a story of Michael Jordan. There was a guy who I think he was basically, I think he had like some injury, but the injury was pretty much healed. But the guy was still babying the injury, and he was like laying on some bed, getting a massage or whatever. And supposedly Michael Jordan went into the medical room or whatever, and the guy was laying on the bed like nursing his injury, and supposedly Michael Jordan flipped the guy off of the bed and told him get up and let's go practice, right? There's stories of Michael Jordan, going at it with one of his teammates in practice, and apparently he punched his teammate in the nose. Now, I'm not saying we need to do all this stuff, but what this really is, Michael Jordan is not personally like attacking these guys. Like, it's not personal. He wants to win so badly that he's willing to do these things. Right. So it's just a certain attitude, it's just a certain mentality. We don't have to be so extreme that we're doing stuff like that. But I'm just showing you like the different levels of this winning attitude. Michael Jordan was known for killer instinct because he was willing to do whatever it takes to win. Right. And he had the mentality of, I want to win. He's not just playing for fun. I'm happy that I'm playing or whatever. No. And seeking out the challenge. Okay. I want you to fuck with me so I can fuck you up. It's like you want somebody to try you, right? You want, like, you see it as a battle, and you're not gonna be like, oh, this is like a friendly thing. Like, when you're in an interaction with a woman, remember, it's masculine energy versus feminine energy. It's actually, you can see it as a dance or a battle, but there is a winner and a loser. Okay. Now, you can get to a point where you can, like, right now, my perspective is, if I win, the woman wins, right? Because if I'm grounded in my masculinity and I'm bringing order to her feminine energy, she wins. She wins too, because I win because I'm getting what I want. I'm getting a sexual relationship and a woman that's submissive and feminine and compliments me. And she wins because now she no longer has to just have feminine energy that's going all over the place, and guys are doing her wrong and this and that, and the guy cheats on her and da da da. No, instead, she channels her feminine energy in my direction, and I lead with strength. I'm grounded. I help her out. I have certain value that I bring to a relationship. She's getting that value. I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie to her. There's certain things that I just won't do. So she's actually gonna win too. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, there is this battle, right? And it's the woman. If you leave it up to her, she's just gonna put you in a platonic relationship, and she's gonna try to get as much as she can out of you while you're in a platonic relationship, and you could be in that platonic relationship with her, and there's some other dude that basically is fucking her, and he's doing a lot less. Like, he's giving a lot less, and he's getting what he wants. And so we have to come to that realization, like, know what you want. If you want sex, like, own that, and have that mentality that I'm interacting with this woman because I want to have sex with her, and I'm going to do what is necessary to make that happen. And if it's going to be a battle, it's going to be a battle. Okay. And it could be a fun battle. It's not like it's like, a super serious thing, but it could be a fun battle. You can be having fun, but just know it is a battle. And when it's time to make a certain move, you got to make the move. All right. So these are some ways that you can develop your killer instinct. Okay. I recommend applying all of them because that's what I did. Um, some of these I wouldn't have been able to verbalize at the time. Like, for example, the archetype thing, I definitely used the visualization, but I didn't understand you could meditate and embody these archetypes. So the meditation would basically be you, like, literally, for example, you put a timer on for 10 minutes and you completely go into the beingness of the archetype, right? Like, you completely go into, you create the storyline. Like, let's say you're going to go out to cold approach, for example. You go into the archetype in that meditation. It's not like you wait until you get to the venue and then you tap into the archetype. No, you get into the archetype before you even get out there. It's kind of like you're like how an actor would do it. Like, the actor practices being the character all the time. And then when they get to the to like play the scene or whatever and do the cuts and stuff, they're already in character before they even get there, right? And then the embodiment is you doing it so consistently, so much that you just become it, right? The willpower one, this 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 is a very powerful one. This is something that I do to this day, is that exercise that I gave you, the push up, like you go halfway and then you hold it. You're developing willpower, you're developing heart. That killer instinct, it's necessary during those times when you don't want to do it, when you don't feel like doing it. And this exercise will help you with that. The exposure therapy is what it is. You gradually expose yourself to certain levels of tension. And over time, you get really comfortable with it. And then the winning attitude is just basically you, like, having this the ruthless aggression, like, I'm here to kill, right? I'm here to dominate. I'm not here to like be friends with everybody. I'm not here to be buddy buddy. I'm here to get the results, right? I'm not here to waste time. In nature, time is not wasted in nature. Energy is not wasted in nature. If you are wasting time, if you're not displaying that killer instinct, you are going against nature and you'll be punished for that by getting no results. Nature is about unwasted energy. There is a reason for everything in nature, right? In nature, when there's a battle between two animals, do you think one animal is saying, let me go easy on him, or let me just kind of fight this battle? No, both animals are going all out to kill each other, right? So you if you want to be in tune with nature, you should have the mentality of, I want to win. All right. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in working together, like if you want to get into more specifics on how you can um you know tap into your killer instinct, and how you can use these steps and these exercises and these tips that I gave you, and you like to work together consistently so you can become the most attractive version of yourself, the sexiest version of yourself, and also get like some tangible results. So like, most guys are interested in creating that abundance, right? Where you can connect with multiple women romantically and sexually. So if you're interested, I do have an opportunity for you. Um, just go over it real quickly. So it's called my Sex God Initiation Program, and it's an 8-week program. It's us working together one-on-one. You learn how to approach, attract, and seduce women like a god, so you can build a rotation of 2 to 3 women you're seeing romantically, and sexually. And you kind of just got like an understanding of the first session. So the first session would be developing killer instinct. Okay, that's what we went over today. However, there's other sessions, right? Another session would be creating sexual tension. How do you create sexual tension in your interactions with women? It's very necessary, right? If there's no sexual tension in the interaction, very unlikely that the relationship is going to get sexual, right? How to become grounded in your masculinity. This is a very important. When you're interacting with a woman, this is one of the things she's looking for. Is this a masculine man, and is he grounded in his masculinity? Right? Finding your purpose. I believe this is an important part too. When you're dealing with a woman, if she senses that she is your purpose, like you value her over everything else in your life, it's a turn off for her. So you want to have a purpose that is greater than the woman, so she can see that if she was to get with you, you wouldn't be so all over her, you wouldn't be smothering her, or you wouldn't be reactive to her, because you have a purpose that is greater than her. And so she has to actually she has to actually like get your attention. She has to fight for your attention, because your primary focus is going into your purpose. And so you become like somewhat of a challenge for her. Like, she kind of sees it like, oh, let me see if I can get him away from his purpose. And if she can't do that, then you remain the challenge, right? Once a woman can, like, I've been in this position. If a woman can get you to change your shift, your focus from primarily being on your purpose to her, that's when she starts losing interest, and she's on her way out the door. So you need to have a purpose. Session 5 is how to get up to 3 days per week from cold approach. So I break down a step-by-step process you can apply to get really good with cold approach and get up to 3 days per week. How to build a rotation of two women or more. So I show you my process of how you can build a rotation of two or more women. Session 7 is bringing it all together, which means how do you have the killer instinct, create sexual tension, be grounded in your masculinity, find your purpose, get these dates, build a rotation. Like, how do you bring this all together as like a daily thing that you're doing, a daily beingness of who you are? And then session 8 is graduation celebration, where basically we celebrate together your progress through the program and what you've achieved and all those great things. All right, you get some bonuses. You get access to my Godlike Confidence training videos. You get access to my Godlike Confidence Facebook group, Masculine Mastermind, and my ebooks. All right, so if you're interested in a Sex God Initiation program, just reach out to me. I'll give you more details and we'll go from there. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.